morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for joining us for the first edition of the 6 p.m. English News this week over the Republican television. Let's begin right away with our headlines. Living without mask is now impossible in Mendong neighborhood in Yaoundé as the area is filled with dirt and taps in the area have run dry for over 2 weeks now. This situation has made life a living hell for the population living there. Most workers in ministries and offices have effectively resumed work this Monday, December 27, 2021, after celebrating Christmas over the weekend. Though tired, some say their presence this Monday is due to the obligation they have towards their job. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Celestine Kecha Cortez, during a 2-day working visit this December 26 to 27, 2021, appreciated the advancement of various road projects already realized in the Garwa in the region of the north. Those were our headlines. We'll have details in a bit. As you heard in one of our headlines, the inhabitants of Mendong neighborhood in Yaoundé are facing water crisis as taps have run dry for months now and most streets are filled with dirty waters. Situations have contributed to make life a living hell to the population living in that area. Our reporter Ann Umeko visited the Mendong neighborhood and painted a picture. Her report.
Trekking for long distances with buckets and other recipients in search of water, a daily exercise that the population of Mendong carry out on daily basis. Taps completely dry or overflowing, the stream is their last resort.
It is about 2 weeks there is no drop of water. That is why you are seeing me with my children at the stream to wash dresses. There is no way out, not even a drop of water to drink. When the tap starts flowing, it is very dry and undrinkable. We are obliged to come here to wash dresses and fetch some water to drink.
Adding to water scarcity, the drainage from the Kamsip, not far from the Gendarmerie Mendong, is completely blocked, causing dirty water mixed with excreta to overflow the streets, a big help to the population.
We are suffering because this water is odor, too much odor, and it can make people feel bad. People, they are sick around here because this water is smelling. It's no better to health. The water coming from Kangsik, it's long, more than 10 years.
This sad reality is justified with drainage pipes completely damaged, throwing of dirt in grass everywhere, a high degree of unhygienic conditions, placing everyone's health and life at stake. Enough is enough. Prevention is better than cure.
The people of Balinyonga has had one of the greatest Christmas celebrations since the genesis of the Anglophone crisis. This was done thanks to the non-governmental organization made up of sisters of Balinyonga under the umbrella of Fcfa on Sunday, December 26, 2021. Our Northwest correspondent Neba Jerome has details in the following report.
We are in Balinyonga where sisters of Balinyonga called Fcfa have come to celebrate Christmas with the community. They came with educational support to youth, livelihood support to the vulnerable, and to spend a day with the elderly people.
Fcfa started to help me when my husband was not well. From them, they was taking care of my husband from hospital to hospital. So my husband come and die. Still yet, they are still helping me with these children. I really appreciate it.
I want to heartily thank Fcfa of all the branches that had supported us today with a Christmas gift. I think this gesture is really enormous.
Despite the difficulties faced as a result of the socio-political crisis, there is hope for the people of Bali.
For Nkomofefet, it's a tradition for us to take care of the vulnerable and the needy. The jamboree this time is that for 1 full year, we have not had any opportunity to feed people and communicate with people. And we know that during Christmas, people are supposed to celebrate. So Christmas was yesterday, and Nkomofefet continued with the Christmas festival to today, the 26th of December. We are hoping that there will be a better tomorrow. A lot is still ahead, and that people should not give up. The future is bright.
Amongst the items donated were bags of rice, bags of salt, dresses, educational kit, and toiletries, whereas scholarship as they left happily.
During her 2-day walking visit to Garoua from December 26 to 27, 2021, the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Celestine Kecha-Coutez, appreciated the advancement of various road projects already realized in the region. Barely 2 weeks to the start of the Africa Cup of Nations, the minister, together with local authorities of her ministerial department in Garoua, say the city is ready to welcome both visitors and tourists in the region. We have details of this story with Ruth Fanyo.
A few days before the 2021 Total Energies Africa Nations Cup in Cameroon, the city of Garoua has become a real showcase of the north, with place of light that shines brightly, well laid out roads as well as completely renovated road signs. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Celestine Kecha-Coutez, during her 2-day walking visit in Garoua from December 26 to 27, 2021, appreciated the work done so far on road network in that part of the country. A job realized by her ministerial department and local authorities of the region. The rehabilitation work of urban road network in the city of Garoua is in its final phase. 6 urban projects for a total of 27 kilometers of fully renovated urban road network, which impressed the Minister of Housing and Urban Development on the occasion of the inspection mission in the capital city of the North region on the eve of the AFCON 2021 come January 9, 2022.
Entre mon dernier voyage à Garoua et aujourd'hui, c'est tout simplement fantastique.
Between my last journey to Garoua and today, it's simply fantastic, and I can say without risk of deceiving myself that the President of the Republic, on the eve of the AFCON, decided to do some constructions in Garoua. Like yesterday in Bafoussam, we saw tens of kilometers of tarred roads. In short, urban mobility and urban development are visible in Garoua. We also have public lighting all around these roads, which permits the population to go through their economic activities even at night. The city has a lot of lights, and besides, these great infrastructures are in favor of AFCON that the head of state prescribed here in Garoua. It is simply wonderful, and I want to thank the authorities who followed up this project.
Merci aux autorités qui ont accompagné le suivi de ce projet.
Garoua is therefore ready to welcome visitors and tourists who will be for the great celebration of the African Nations Cup 2021 in the territory of Cameroon.
After celebrating Christmas over the weekend, workers have effectively resumed work this Monday, December 27, 2021, in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. Our reporter, Diane Ninkam, was downtown Yaoundé and says most workers in ministries and offices answered present except those who are on official permission. Her report.
Typical of Christmas celebrations is merrymaking, which for a majority of Cameroonians is the essential when it comes to the annual celebration. After too much feasting, Marking a significant stop at the end of the year to spend time with friends and family, life has to continue. Going downtown Yaoundé this Monday, December 27th, 2021, one can see the storm is over and life has regained its normal course. The street is less congested and people are going about their normal businesses as always. Visiting some ministries here in Yaoundé, notably the Ministry of Basic Education, state workers are present with a few absent cases officially on permission and are expected to only return at the end of their break period. Extending our microphone to a few city dwellers, work resumption this Monday to a greater extent is not really by choice but by the obligation they have towards their work. To others, they actually had enough time to rest and have fully charged their batteries to face the workload ahead of them. Christmas has come and gone. All efforts are now being mobilized towards entering into a new year come Saturday, January 1, 2022.
In recent times, accidents have been very rampant during sporting activities. In this light, our newsroom took keen interest in this and met a sport physiotherapist who gave some of the reasons for the recent happenings and proposed solutions. Let's now have him in the following report by BrigadeAntiSardinard.
During sporting activities, accidents are very rampant nowadays. Mark Vivian Foué, Marim Kasik, Sofian Lauka, among others, are examples of players who have lost their lives in the field of play.
Years we have noticed sudden death of athletes on the beach, and it has been so recurrent that people have been asking themselves why of that, as the player might or the athlete might be prepared or undergoing some screening. The main reason of the sudden death, as from today, relation complicated by the coronary cardiopathy, is known to be the main cause of sudden death.
Since sport entails the use of the human body, they are mostly exposed to psychological trauma.
From the practice of their sport, are using their body to their extremes. That means their body is solicited to the extremities of what a normal body can endure. From that, they are exposed to a lot of micro trauma or micro trauma or macro trauma. That might be some fractures due to trauma. That might be sprains. It can be dislocation of joints and some other trauma. So, from the fact of their sport and the amount and the intensity of their solicitation, they may get most of those trauma due to overload on their joints and extreme solicitations.
Preventing these unforeseen circumstances seems quite impossible.
Impossible to have a total prevention of injury in the practice of sport, just for the main reason that most of the trauma that occur are from accidents, and there is no way that you can absolutely prevent an accident. However, some three levels of precaution might be taken: the physical preparation of the athlete, the preliminary screening of the athlete to make sure that he's sound and healthy, and then a sound physical preparation to prepare the body to endure the necessity or the solicitation of the specificity of the sport.
Meanwhile, the pitch should be taken into serious consideration.
The pitch where the athletes are practicing their sport, the better the quality of the surface or the pitch where they are practicing, the less chances for them to get some injuries. And the last part is the protective equipment that the athlete would use. The better the quality of the equipment, the lesser the prevalence of injuries or the possibility of getting some injuries, because it's known that the poor quality of the field or the protective equipment plays a bigger role in the incidence of injuries in the practice of sports.
Athletes are therefore encouraged to have frequent medical checkup in order to avoid the unforeseen circumstances such as cardiac arrest, as was the case of Sofian Lauka on this December 25th, 2021.
The Algerian football family in particular and the African football fraternity in general is still in shock and tears following the death of Mouloudia Seida captain Sofiane Louka. The 30-year-old footballer kicked the bucket on December 25, 2021 in a game pitting his MC Saida Football Club against RSM Oran in the second division championship in the North African country. We have details of this story with Isaac Ngankum.
The Algerian second division top flight game pitting Mouloudia Saida FC against ISM Oran last Saturday 25th December 2021 came to a premature end at the 35th minute of play when MC Saida captain Sofiane Louka dropped dead. Local media reports from Algeria indicate that Sofiane Louka first suffered an injury at the 26th minute of play after colliding with his own goalkeeper. After receiving medical attention, he was cleared to resume the game, only for the unexpected to happen 9 minutes later. Even though the 30-year-old defender was not in Algeria's final list en route to Cameroon for the 2021 AFCON, his brutal death on a football pitch some few days to the biggest football bonanza on the African continent is affecting the entire continental football fraternity in one way or the other. Sofiane Louka, who was born in 1991, quit the stage at 30, leaving behind a beautiful wife. Just 1 week after their wedding, Algeria are current African champions and recently lifted the FIFA Arab Cup in Qatar, a strong indication that they are coming to Cameroon, ready to retain the title.
May his soul rest in peace. We continue with sport, where Warriors coach Naman Matpeza has picked a severely weakened 30-man national team squad, missing several key player squad for next month's Africa Cup of Nations finals to be played in Cameroon. Zimbabwe will be competing in Group B of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations, where the team will be competing alongside Malawi Giants and favorite Senegal and Guinea at the Kwankong Ominsport Stadium in Bafoussam. We have details with Ruth Fanyo.
The Zimbabwe national football team, nicknamed the Warriors, represents Zimbabwe in men's international football and is controlled by the Zimbabwe Football Association, ZIFA, formerly known as the Football Association of Rhodesia. The team has never qualified for the FIFA World Cup finals, but has qualified for the African Cup of Nations 5 times. The team represents both FIFA and Confederation of African Football. Zimbabwe coach Norman Mapeza has announced a 30-man provisional squad for the Total Energies African Cup of Nations Cameroon 2021. The Warriors gathered on December 23rd in Harare for a training camp ahead of the final squad announcement set of December 31st, 2021. Mapeza made several changes from the team that competed in the Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against South Africa and Ethiopia. The Warriors will be playing in Group B of the Total Energies African Cup of Nations, where they are pitted against Senegal, Guinea, and fellow COSAFA region side Malawi. Zimbabwe will open their campaign against the Teranga Lions Senegal on January 10th at the Bafoussam Omnisport Stadium. Some of the team's defenders are Peter Maduwa Highlanders, Alec Mudimu, Jordan Zemura, Tapiwa Sibanda. As midfielders, we have Temptation Ziwunga, Kevin Madzongwe, Tabani Kamusoka. Forwards, we have Admiral Musukwe, David Moya, and goal fielder Petros Marie, Martin Mapisa, and Talba Shuba. The eagerly awaited squad, which was announced via a statement by the ZIFA acting chief executive, Zoli Sani Gwesela, is sure to set tongues wagging following the omission of some key players and inclusion of a number of uncapped players. Zimbabwe's senior men's national football team will arrive Cameroon next week ahead of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations tournament in the country. The 2021 African Cup of Nations tournament in Cameroon will run from January 9 to February 6, 2022, with a total of 24 nations competing in a second edition of an extended version of the Africa's most celebrated football competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, you're watching the 6 p.m. English news over the Republican television. Let's now take you out of the country, but with this sad story where the South African Nobel Peace Prize laureate Archbishop Desmond Tutu is no more. The anti-apartheid campaigner died this Sunday, December 26, 2021, at the age of 90 after being diagnosed of prostate cancer in the late 1990s. In the following report, our reporter Diane Ninkam paints a picture of his life.
Born on October the 7th, 1931, Desmond Pilo Tutu moved to the world beyond this Sunday, 26th December 2021, at the age of 90. He served as Bishop of Johannesburg from 1985 to 1986, and later Archbishop of Cape Town from 1986 to 1996. The South African Anglican bishop was known for his work as a human rights activist and an anti-apartheid campaigner. Archbishop Desmond Tutu won the Nobel Peace Prize for his non-violent opposition to apartheid in 1984 and was said to have chaired the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which was established to dismantle atrocities committed at that moment in South Africa. Before his demise, Archbishop Desmond Tutu had been diagnosed of prostate cancer in the 90s, which resulted to his regular hospitalization in recent years. In an official statement published by Dr. Ramphele Mamphele, acting chairperson on behalf of the Tutu family, Desmond Tutu died peacefully at the Oasis Care Center in Cape Town this Sunday. Reacting to his death, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, in a tweet, described the passing away of Archbishop Emeritus as another chapter of bereavement in the nation's farewell to a generation he termed outstanding South Africans who have bequeathed them a liberated South Africa. Desmond Pilo Tutu has moved to the world beyond, but his name has been marked in the history of South Africa.
May his soul rest in peace. We remain out of the country where the Somalian president has suspended his prime minister following allegation of corruption and misconduct leveled against him. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, Nigerian army has donated 12.3 million naira to wounded soldiers and widows. We have this story and more with our intern Fonchikol.
The Nigerian Army, Air Force and Borno State government have donated 12.3 million naira to wounded soldiers and widows as they celebrate Christmas and New Year. This ceremony took place on the 26th of December. Announcing the donation at a joint Christmas event in Manduguri, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, disclosed that 91 wounded soldiers and 50 widows are to benefit from this gesture. The Niger State Governor, Abubakar Bello, emphasized the need for love, unity and peace. He also said that the state government would continue to provide the needed support with the available means to fight insecurity in Borno. Somalian President Mohamed Abdullahi suspended Prime Minister Mohamed Hussein Rombo. This is following allegations of corruption and misconduct levied against him. This was made known to the public in an official statement from Villa Somalia, the official residence of the president. This December 26, 2021, Rombo was accused of interfering with an investigation on a land grabbing case. This suspension comes after both parties were engaged in a verbal war on Sunday, accusing each other of holding up the country's ongoing parliamentary elections. The elections, which began on November 1st, was expected to be at its peak on December 24th. However, a newly elected parliamentarian said only 24 out of 275 lawmakers had been elected by Saturday.
It is with that news out of the country that takes us to the end of our 6 p.m. English news over the Republican television. But before we leave you, a recap of our major stories. Living without mask is now impossible in Mendong neighborhood in Yaoundé, as the area is filled with dirt and taps in the area have run dry for over 2 weeks now. This situation has made life a living hell for the population living there. Most workers in ministries and offices have effectively resumed work this Monday, December 27, 2021, after celebrating Christmas over the weekend. Though tired, some say their presence this Monday is due to the obligation they have towards their work. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Celestine Kecha-Akotes, during her 2-day working visit to Garoua from December 26 to 27, 2021, has appreciated the advancement of various road projects already realized in the region. Crise will be with you when it's exactly 8 p.m. for news in the French language. But until then, do stay tuned in the company of interesting programs over Camdi's television. Have a blessed evening.